raining because the water for some reason turns green.
The water turns green?
Yeah, every time it rains, it messes up the pH balance or something like
Every
that.
every time the wind blows and a leaf lands in the goddamn thing, it turns green. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on. Thank you.
So that's not really a resolution. It's just something I want to start doing every day.
Yeah.
I want to get a dog this year.
I got one you can have. He eats furniture though.
I have to. I'm gonna. Silent Mike is. I love him to death, but he's really
anal,
security driven.
He's anal,
and he wants to make sure that the dog's not gonna get because people whiz down our street all the time. So he wants to make sure the dog's not gonna get out and get run over. So we've got to do some improvements in the yard area. We need to make sure we have a place in the back for it, a dog run. So we've got to get that all set up before we even think about getting a dog. And so those are my two goals this year. Is I want to get zombie healthy to where if I have to run, I'm okay because the zombies are running after you. Because more and more, I keep believing they're going to be the fast zombies. Seriously.
You're going to have to stop smoking. Maybe.
No, not really. Not really.
Not really. Okay.
All right.
And what was the second thing I said? Oh,
get a dog.
Get a dog.
I would love to. I love my cat. My cat has the best personality in the world. I love her to death.
Cat.
But I can't take her for a walk. And if I want to do some walking, I want to take a dog.
Yeah, with some training, you might be able to train her to.
No.
Okay.
Not her cat. Her cat would shit in your shoes if you did that to her.
No, she actually wouldn't. She's pretty good about it.
No, that's just my cat.
That's your cat.
My former kitty. Yeah.
So those are my two revolutions for the year. And maybe do some more artwork because I've gotten out of that for a while. So that was the other personal thing that I was thinking about doing. Some more artwork. Because I miss my art. I see your work and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's such an artist. And I look at my stuff that I did and I'm like, I'm such an artist. Why haven't I done anything?
You haven't done anything in a long time.
Remember years ago we took that art class together, but we both got pissed off because she's like, here, draw this. And I'm like, bitch, tell me how to draw it because I'm really mad now.
I remember that teacher. She was horrible.
I know. I'm just like, why? I mean.
What about perspective and color and shading? And
no, nothing. It wasn't like she didn't teach us anything.
Here's a circle. Draw that.
Yes.
Now, my junior high art teacher, Mr. Mattingly, who had the huge
we took this class at community college. You and I went.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay.
And and that's the reason that I took. I figure all art teachers would be like Mr. Mattingly. Mr. Mattingly taught me how to draw people using the diamonds and the circles and the lines and the triangles and. I was drawing superhero people before the Marvel book came out. It was awesome.
See, that's my one downfall as far as art. I can do the abstract stuff, but I have a hard time with
reality.
The people. I can do cartoons. A lot of the cartoons I can do, but if the more people like they get, the harder it is for me to do them.
Yeah, the perspective, the actual proportions and perspective of drawing human beings is really fucked up. Because you don't realize how short your arms are or how long your arms are when you try to draw them, and so you end up with these teeny tiny little Tyrannosaurus Rex arms.
I did okay on my little elf.
Arms.
He's supposed to be funny looking, so that was okay. But
right.
Well, the thing is, if you do it the Marvel way, the Marvel way is pretty easy. It's all measured by the head, so a human body is about 8.5 heads high. So you just draw 8 heads, one on top of each other. Then you split it up. And then with arms and legs, put your hand down and you know that your fingertips end mid-thigh. And then just bend your wrist and you see that it's at your hip. So you draw the circle for your wrist at your hip. And then you draw the midway between the shoulder and the wrist. You draw the elbow and there you go. All measured up. You don't have to do anything. Just remember that.
Wendy says 6 heads high.
That's for a very short person.
Well, I'm only 5'3".
5. She only gets 5 heads.
It's 1 head per foot.
There you go.
Yay! I get 5 and 1/12 of a foot or some shit like that. 1/12 of a head. 1/4? I don't know.
Whatever.
The Marvel way. What is it? What is the Marvel way?
It might the
Marvel
Comics.
way, like X-Men Unite.
Yes, Marvel Comics. It might be 6 heads high. I can't remember. It's been a really long time.
Wendy
she
knows
says that she lives on a quiet cul-de-sac, but her kitty is indoor only, and her dog is only on a leash. My cat is an outdoor cat, but in its old age, it doesn't wander, and it only goes out when I go out, and it comes in when I come in.
And no, it tells you when you're going back in.
It does. It does. It tells me when I'm going back in, and it yells at me if I don't go out with it.
Yes.
She wants to go out. It's time for you to go out.
Yes. So whenever I go out onto the back patio, she always comes and she goes out and she goes and does her thing, and then she comes and sits under my chair until I'm ready to go in. And her tail tickles my inner thighs.
Okay.
Her kitty tickles her inner thighs.
It does.
Her kitty hair tickles her inner thighs. And I thought I had long kitty hair.
All right.
Meow.
We'll have to get Sweet Cheeks' resolutions next week.
So we're all going to try to be a little bit of a healthier fatty next year.
Yeah, I was reading an article this week. There's a blog that I follow called Dances with Fat. And I guess some of her readers wrote to her and said, why the hell is the NAFA newsletter, the NAFA people, do you know what the acronym stands for?
It stands for the the North American Association for Fat Acceptance or something like that.
And these guys are like militant anti-diet. I don't know if militant is the word.
No, it is the word.
Okay.
They are militant. I mean, they're awesome for certain things, like, size acceptance in the workplace and at school, and, but usually fat is not included in the bullying campaigns, and they're really working on getting those put in there.
Right.
But sometimes they're just like PETA. Sometimes they go a little too far.
Right. And anyway, it's a really good organization. It does a lot of lobbying and legislation for anti-discrimination, especially against fat people. And but somebody wrote to this person who did this blog and said, why does the NAFA newsletter have diet tips in it? Which they're totally against calling anything or anybody going on a diet. And what it was this woman wrote an article about she had diabetes, so she needed to get healthier. So she would make these foods that were, faux cheesecake or something like that.
Right.
And so she shared these in the newsletter.
Well, I mean, obviously you have to especially if it's diabetes related.
Right.
Yeah, you have to change the way you eat. You don't have to call it a diet. You don't have to call it whatever.
Change.
It's a life change.
Right. And so I was thinking about that, and I'm like, we as a group, as the Sin City Bounty, as Curvaceous Bounty, we're not against dieting. If you think that you need to lose some weight, lose some weight. If you think that you would look better by losing weight, then do it.
Just do it responsibly.
Responsibly, smartly, but don't do it and hate yourself while you're doing. That's the big thing that bothers me. I want to trim up a little bit. It's not about the losing weight. It's the getting healthy. I want to be able to walk from here to the bathroom without breathing hard. Right? Or climb up and down the stairs without going,
Mm-hmm.
So in the process of getting healthier, I will lose weight, just like you. Eating differently, you've lost a lot of weight.
I have.
I'm
worried about losing my boobies.
I don't think that'll ever happen, honestly. Because didn't you have those when you were like slim, trim?
You remember me when
Army?
I came right out of the Army?
Yeah.
I still had enormous boobies.
Besides, I'm sure Cali Guy will massage them and keep them.
Oh, he's got me on a drug regimen. It's funny.
Is there drugs for that?
But
boobies?
There's health supplements you can take, yeah.
For boobies?
Yeah.
I need some of those.
I'll give them to you.
Because look, I don't.
You know what? I'll see if Jeffrey Burke will bring them when he comes in.
Okay.
We gotta put him on the schedule.
There's a new vitamin shop right by my shop now too.
Well, there you go.
Anyway, so
I should go in there and ask them. So what vitamins are good for boobies? I have to record that when I do that.
So that's the thing. If you need to lose the weight, if you need to slim down, if you need to get healthy, do it responsibly, but don't hate yourself while you're doing it. You are absolutely beautiful just the way you are. With your belly being flashed to the world. I love that. I think that was one of the most awesome things you've ever done.
Yeah.
Was flop your belly out there for the whole world to see.
I got a great Dunlop.
And it wasn't recorded.
That's true, it was not.
We'll have to replay all this next week. But for the replay. Instant replay. Not instant, no, because that's, no. Whatever.
Oh, he says the greatest accomplishment of the show is Alexia saying, fuck my fat pussy.
I think I only said that once very quietly.
And she still laughs about it.
Wendy says vitamin size G.
Vitamin size D?
Oh, no, I'm vitamin size H. That's
H.
what we're trying to keep him at.
That's you.
That's me, yeah. Vitamin says, holy mother of God.
Anyway, so for this next year, I want to get back to the stories. Telling the stories. So you guys got to send us your stories.
Send us stories. We will tell them on the air. Email them, Facebook them.
Audio Boo. There's an app if you have an iPhone, maybe on the, I don't know, those other phones. Maybe. There's an app called Audio Boo. And you can record up to 5 minutes worth of stuff. And then you can send it out on your social media wavelengths. Send it out there and tag us in it, and we will play it on the air.
Your voice with your story.
That's right.
Live on SinCityBounty.com. Oh, I do not work in radio.
And that, that's one of the great things. You could probably be a radio show host without us.
Yeah.
Just in the few months that you've been with us. How long have you been an actual host?
She'd have to go kidnap somebody to work all of the equipment.
I don't know. I'd have to look back at all this stuff and see when I actually was like. I'm trying to look because I'm like
go through our list.
I'm looking at most of these stories. I was here for most of these because I remember Gramps actually bit me that night. Bit me on my. Talking about he liked sweet stuff or something like that, and he bit my. So I was there for that one.
It was before July because you were with us at FanFest.
Right.
It had to have been on the next page
Maybe
sometime in June, yeah.
May or June.
Maybe was it when Foreplay came in, when we first met Foreplay?
I brought him in here. I was already a host then.
So it had to have been on the page we were just on, which was episode 18,
I was
19.
here with Slim Tim with his with the lady, Jennifer. I was hosting then.
I believe you basically became like an official host with the bariatric surgery one, episode 13. Because we did that, I think, mostly because you've got a great kind of like midway story about bariatric surgery, and then we got some people with bad stories and some people with good stories. That was a good episode, I think. I'd like to revisit that one next season, the bariatric surgery episode.
Yeah,
I'd like to revisit that, get some different perspectives on it, because I know that we've known a lot of people.
I have a couple of friends now that it's kind of I want to say it's nice, but I know that's not the word that I need. But it's kind of nice when somebody talks to you, and I actually have a friend that you and I went to high school with, that actually called me, and we talked for probably about an hour on the phone. And he asked me questions and what I thought and would I do it again and yada, yada, yada. And we just had a nice conversation. Well, he's like, well, I'll let you know or whatever. And I actually just found out that he's almost to his 1 year mark. And he actually did it. I think he got the new one called the sleeve that they're doing now. And he's actually lost about 100 pounds. So, and I feel like that's another reason why I need to get back to me, because I feel like at some point I'm an example, because when people look at my before pictures and stuff like that, and I still want to be that example kind of thing. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain all that, but whatever.
No, we know exactly what you're talking about. You are.
If I was a role model, I guess.
You are a role model. Not saying if I was. You are a role model. You knew you needed to take care of your health, and you went out and you did everything you could to do it, and you're still doing it. And
yep, I try.
And not because you hated yourself or you didn't like the way you looked. You did it because you wanted to be healthier, and that's really, honestly, that's the best way to do it. Yeah. Not because you hate yourself, but because you love yourself.
That's right. Exactly right. I couldn't have said it any better. Anyway, we have had a great run this year. We look forward to great shows for next year. I've got plans. I think all the rest of the girls do too.
We do.
We might not all match, but we've got plans.
I've been talking to people, so hey, anybody out there that wants to be a guest on our show to talk about your events, talk about what's going on in your life, want to show your example, like, whatever.
You want to shake your big belly on the TV.
Whatever.
We'll
Call
do that
me.
again next
Look,
week. 'Cause
call
that was
me.
awesome.
Call me.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Send me a message.
Find her on Facebook,
Facebook.
Sin City Mama Charlotte.
I got Twitter too, but I really haven't worked that out yet.
We got to sit down. Me and you got to sit down. Did you have something to say?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, I do, but I got to wait for you to start.
Oh, all right. This is Alexia.
Mama.
And Sierra, wishing you all a good night. And remember,
Fuck
fuck often.
See y'all next year.
She may have a pretty kitty, boo. Watch out for those claws.
This is Sweet Cheeks, the fashionista with the curvaceous bounty of Sin City. Join myself, Alexia, Sierra, and Calypso on Sunday nights from 7 to 10 at VegasAllNetRadio.com. I'll show you how stylish it is to feel good about yourself, love yourself at any size, show your arms, dress cute, and walk proud. Check us and our cleavages out at SinCityBounty.com.
Saturday nights from 7 to 10. It's the Chill Zone with your host, Randy M. Join Randy as